Let's face it, holiday expectations can get out of hand. Here's how to help your child manage those expectations without meltdowns or disappointments. With holidays being such a huge part of our culture, no matter which holiday you celebrate, it is enormous. There are TV shows and movies and books and changes in things happening at school and all sorts of unpredictable, huge celebratory things that are going on. So for children, sometimes it can feel like everything has to be huge and magnificent and brilliant. And as a parent, it can feel like everything has to be so perfect in every single moment. And if it's not, you can feel like a big failure. So managing these expectations around holidays can help your mental health as well as your child's mental health. One thing that you can do is really just to talk openly about what to expect around the holidays. When children turn on movies about the holidays, there are movies that show a very normal holiday, I guess I can say that. And there are movies that show a holiday that is so extravagant, I don't even know how a movie found a budget for some of the things that they will pull off. And there's magic that happens in these movies, and there's all sorts of other things. So for children, having huge expectations is so normal. And it can be our job to let them know that, yes, this is a wildly exciting and amazing time, but there are some things to manage when it comes to your expectations. One thing that my parents always did was tell myself and my two brothers the number of gifts that we could expect for Christmas. Almost every Christmas, each of us got 3 gifts, and there were reasons for that, but each of us got 3 gifts, and so we knew, and we were reminded pretty frequently leading up to the holidays, you're going to get 3 things. And sometimes it would work out where we got a game system and a game, and that counted as one thing, or whatever it might be. But managing those expectations of number of gifts can be one of the things that can really just help you breathe easier, so that your child isn't thinking, oh my goodness, I saw in a movie that Santa had a sack full of toys and he dumped them all out at this one kid's house, and that kid got to open 75 different things. I can't wait to open my 75 different things. Having an open conversation about you are not going to be opening 75 things can be really helpful, so that children don't make this huge expectation and then feel completely disappointed. Another thing to talk openly about is the schedule for holiday events. That means if on Christmas Eve there are some routines, and then on Christmas Day there are some routines, and maybe New Year's Eve, and maybe you celebrate Hanukkah or Kwanzaa or some other holiday, and there's some other things that are built in as celebratory moments. If you let a child know ahead of time, hey, here's what this is, and here's what it's going to be, and here's what you can expect when this starts to happen, and here's where we're going, here's the time. When you talk about those things, it helps them get a framework in their head so that they are ready for whatever is to come. Also know that it's completely okay to rehearse appropriate responses to gifts. It can be really a true nightmare for parents to think of their child opening a gift and saying something that can be perceived as very rude to a person who had all the best intentions of giving this child something amazing. It's okay to rehearse those appropriate responses, where you rehearse that, you know, it's not so much about the gift as it is that this person thought of you and is excited to give you something. They thought about you when they saw this, and they wanted to make sure that you are the one who gets it. And once you can build that into a child's mind, it can become less about the thing and more about the intention behind the thing. And it's easier to rehearse an appropriate response for this thing that maybe they're not so excited about. And if a child is disappointed in a gift, that's okay. It's a valid feeling. But you can teach them that their disappointment isn't in the person who gave the gift. So they don't need to open the gift and immediately show disappointment and tell the person how disappointed they are in this gift, because their disappointment isn't about the person who gave the gift. Instead, they can feel gratitude for the thought and the effort that came behind the gift. And we can encourage gratitude by having children talk about things they're thankful for before gifts even begin, or maybe gifts aren't even on the schedule for you. And if that's the case, don't give up this idea that there are things to celebrate as gifts that may not be wrapped in a box or put in a bag. And you can spend some time celebrating some of the gifts, some of the amazing things that have happened over the past year, and things that you are proud of in your child and things that they are proud of in themselves. And if you can encourage them to have that gratitude about things that aren't necessarily tangible and monetary expenses, then they can be even more grateful if something tangible that costs some money comes along. As always, do your best to emphasize experiences and time spent with those people that you love over material things. And that will help to manage expectations. Maybe for you, your family is not great cooks. That would be me and my family. I'm speaking about myself. But if that's you, maybe going to the family dinner isn't the thing that you are most excited about. But can you be excited for who you're going to get to see when you go there? I know just over Thanksgiving, I got to spend some time with my amazing grandmother, who is now 90 years old. Now, I wasn't too excited about the food. I eat a little bit differently than some of my family, and I was able to eat quite a few things and very grateful for that. But I wasn't excited to go for the food. I wasn't excited to go for some games that my family likes to play, but I was really excited to go for seeing my grandmother and seeing some other family members who I love deeply and dearly. If your child hears about an event that's coming up and maybe they're not too excited about it, see if you can talk with them about something they could be excited for in that event. Maybe they're not going to be excited for the whole thing. We rarely are excited for the entire thing. But if you can focus on some pieces, and you can be honest about your things as well. You can say, you know what, I don't like the food very much either, but I am excited to see grandma. Or, you know what, I'm not excited to play those games, but I know my niece and nephew talk all the time about loving to see my dog Stark. So that can be something to talk about. See if you can find those things that they can be excited for and manage their expectations about the other pieces. Like this video, subscribe to the channel, and share it with someone who could use a reminder that it's okay to set realistic expectations this holiday season.